So today in class we started working with addition of binomials, and a binomial is all we're doing is we're looking at equations that have this x squared happening with them. So first of all, when we have two equations such as 5x squared plus 4x plus 1 and we're adding it to 2x squared plus 5x plus 2, all we need to do is first identify our like terms. So that's our first step. Here we go. Here's one term. We have 5x squared, and it has a similar one that has 2x squared. They're like terms because they have the same variable to the same exponent. Our next like term is 4x and 5x, and our last one is 1 and 2. So now let's rewrite this whole equation. This was step 1. Let's rewrite this whole equation with these various terms grouped together. So we can rewrite this as 5x squared plus 2x squared. I'm going to group that up. And then we have 4x plus 5x. Group that up. And 1 plus 2. From there, our next step is to combine those terms, actually do the math. So let's do the math. 5x squared plus 2x squared. We don't need to pay attention to the variables anymore. We can just pay attention to the coefficients in front of them, so just these numbers in front of them. 5 plus 2 is 7, so we have 7x squared. We can do the same thing for the 4x and the 5x. That equals 9x. And our last one, 1 plus 2, that's an easy one. We got 3. So our final answer needs to be written in standard form. That means these exponents that we have going on for all of our terms, they need to be written in greatest to least. So we have 7x squared plus 9x plus 3 as our final answer for that one in standard form. Okay, so now let's do a couple of practice problems. So let's find our practice problems. Our first one is right here. We have 4b to the 5th plus 8b plus 3b to the 5th plus 6b minus 7b to the 5th plus b. So looking at that problem, let's find our like terms. Let's go through that step-by-step process. Here's one like term. We have 4b to the 5th, and we have others that are also b to the 5th. We have 3b to the 5th, and we have 7b to the 5th. And I'm going to rewrite this as negative 7b to the 5th because we had a subtraction right there. Then we also have 8b, 6b, and b. I'm going to change the thickness of this pencil so we can see this a little bit better. Let's circle these up better. Negative. So now let's rewrite this. We have 4b to the 5th plus 3b to the 5th plus a negative 7b to the 5th. And we're going to rewrite this other side as 8b plus 6b plus b. And we can group this all up so we know what we want to do where. So we have 4b to the 5th plus 3b to the 5th minus 7b to the 5th. Let's actually do that work. 4 plus 3 plus a negative 7. The reason why I'm doing that and not paying attention to these b to the 5th is we know that we have 4b to the 5th right there. We have essentially b to the 5th hanging out, and we can write this 4 times. So that's what is happening there, and we have the same thing going on with 3b to the 5th and then the negative 7b to the 5th. So let's just pay attention to the numbers. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7 plus a negative 7 equals 0. So we have 0b to the 5th. And now let's do this math. We have 8 plus 6 plus 1. Same situation as before. 8 plus 6 equals 14 plus 1 is 15. So plus 15. 0b to the 5th plus 15. That can be simplified. This 0b to the 5th, that's always just going to become 0. So we can do a final answer of 15b as our final answer for that problem. Let's do another one. Let me find some space to do another one. So let's do another one. Let's do this 5a to the 3rd. So we have 5a to the third plus 3a squared minus 6a plus 12a squared, and that quantity is being added to 7a to the third plus or minus 10a. So let's find our like terms. Let's identify all of our a's to the third with a little squiggle line. We have a squiggle line there and squiggle line there. So we have 5a to the third plus 7a to the third. So those are those like terms. Let's now find a couple of other like terms. Here's our a squared like terms. We'll do a yellow squiggle line. So we have 3a squared plus 12a squared. Last but not least, we have negative 6a and negative 10a. And I say negative because those are essentially adding a negative. They're not just subtraction. So negative 6a plus a negative 10a. So let's do the math for these. 5a to the third plus 7a to the third is 12a to the third. The yellow part, we have 3a squared plus 12a squared. We have 15a squared. And our very last bit, we have negative 6a plus a negative 10a equals negative 16a. So all of this can be rewritten as 12a to the third plus 15a minus 16a in standard form. Very last problem, the 2 times x squared minus x plus x squared plus 3x minus 1. I suggest you do that on your own. Pause it right now and go ahead and try that problem. Check your work shortly and restart this video in a moment. So press pause. Alright, so to work on this problem, we have 2x squared and x squared. So those are our two like terms there. We also have two more like terms. We have a negative x and a 3x. This last term, negative 1 or minus 1, that is our last and final term. So let's combine these. We have 2x squared plus x squared, or let's rewrite this equation so they're next to each other, minus x plus 3x, and our last one, minus 1. So let's do the work. We have 2x squared plus x squared. We essentially have 3x squared in that. Last one, we have negative x plus 3x. That equals 2x. And our very last problem, minus 1. Final answer. Hope this helps.